Hello my lovelies and welcome to RE. Now we are continuing our storytime topic in RE, Religious Education. So in our storytime topic we are listening to stories and thinking about what we can learn from them. Now we're going to start today's lesson a little bit differently. I'm going to read you some facts, things that are true, about the animal that this story is about, and then we're going to do the story afterwards. So as I read these facts, I'm not going to say, or at least I'm trying to try really hard not to slip up and say, the animal that these facts are about. And I want you to listen and see if you can work out what the animal is. So, these animals are carnivores. They're meat eaters. They don't have eyelids. Eyelids, like us. They don't have them. They can't bite food, so they have to swallow it whole. Ooh. Whoa. They have flexible jaws which allow them to eat prey bigger than their head. Wow, can you imagine eating something bigger than your head? I can't. They are found on every continent of the world except Antarctica. That's right down where the South Pole is. They have internal ears, not external ears. So our ears are external, they're on the outside. Internal are the inside ones. You wouldn't be able to see them really. You just see like a little hole on the outside of the head, but they wouldn't stick out like ours. They are used in special kind of performances. Animals name charming performances, and they respond to movement, not sound. There are around 3,000 different species of this animal. They have a unique anatomy which allows them to swallow and digest large prey. They are covered in scales and their skin is smooth and dry. So their skin, their scales, what they feel like is smooth and dry. They shed their skin a number of times a year in a process that usually lasts a few days. Some of their species use venom to hunt and kill their prey. Ooh, so venom is like a kind of poison that you can the animal has in its body, and then it can choose to put it into its prey, to poison it and kill it. They smell with their tongue. Weird. What do we smell with? One of these types of animals, one of these species, they kill their prey by tightly wrapping around it and suffocating it in a process called constriction. Ugh. Yikes. A special kind of one of these species can breathe, that goes in the sea, can breathe partially through its skin, allowing it to go for longer dives underwater. And one of these types of animal, boy, is it hard reading these facts without saying what the animal is. I wonder if you worked it out yet. It's found in South America and it can reach over 5 meters in length. So a meter is a long, well, we had a meter stick in class, don't we? We've got meter sticks in class. Okay, so this is like a ruler length, 30 centimeters. So a meter, my goodness, step backwards. Yikes. Roughly that long. Ish. I haven't got a meter stick here on my flat, strangely enough. So that's roughly a meter. Over 5 of them. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so, and one of their types can grow over 8.7 meters. Oh my goodness, they are considered the longest of their type in the world. 8.7, so almost 9 of those meters I was just trying to show you. Woo! Boy, oh boy. So, have you figured it out yet? What is this creature? It's a snake. Did you figure it out? I bet you did. Okay, so today's story is taken from the collection of Indian fairy tales, and it's called The Gold-Giving Serpent, and serpents are what sometimes people call snakes. So, in a certain place there lived a Brahmin named Hadriyata. He was a farmer who worked hard but was still very poor, so he didn't have very much money. One day, at the end of the hot day, the Brahmin, overcome by the heat, lay down under the shadow of a tree to have a doze, a little sleep. Suddenly he saw a great hooded snake creeping out of an anthill near at hand. So he thought to himself, surely this is the guardian deity, God, of the field, and I have never worshipped it. That's why my farming is not working. I will at once go and pay my respects to it. When he had made up his mind, he got some milk, poured it into a bowl, and went to the anthill and said aloud, O guardian of this field, all this while I did not know that you lived here. That is why I have not yet paid my respects to you. Pray forgive me. And he laid down the milk and went to his house. Next morning he came and looked and saw a gold dinar, a coin, in the bowl. From that day onward, every day the same thing occurred. He gave milk to the serpent and found a gold dinar, a coin. One day the Brahmin had to go to the village, so he ordered his son to take the milk to the anthill. The son brought the milk, put it down and went back home. Next day he went again and found a dinar. So he thought to himself, this anthill is surely full of gold dinars. I'll kill the snake and take them all for myself. So next day, while he was giving the milk to the snake, the Brahmin's son struck it on the head with a cudgel that's a heavy stick. So poof. Luckily, the snake did not die, but it was so angry that it bit the Brahmin's son with its sharp fangs, teeth, and he fell down dead at once. Oh, my goodness. 2 days later, his father came back, and when he learnt his son's fate, what had happened to him, he grieved and mourned. But after a time, he took the bowl of milk, went to the anthill, and praised the serpent with a loud voice. After a long, long time, the serpent appeared, but only with its head out of the opening of the anthill, and spoke to the Brahmin. It is greed that brings you here and makes you even forget the loss of your son. From this time forward, friendship between us is impossible. Your son struck me in youthful ignorance, and I have bitten him to death. How can I forget the blow with the cudgel? And how can you forget the pain and grief at the loss of your son? So speaking, it gave the Brahmin a costly pearl and disappeared. So pearls are precious, and you find them in the sea. That's a pearl. But before it went away, it said, come back no more. The Brahmin took the pearl and went back home, cursing the foolishness of his son. And that is the end of that story. So, what do you think of that? How would you feel if a snake left you a gold coin? What would you think? What would you do? What do you think is the lesson in this story? Because remember, we are always thinking about what lesson can we learn from these stories. What do you think that the son should have done? What did he do wrong? What do you think about how the father chose to react? The snake said, how could you forget the loss of your son? and come back still. Did the father do the right thing by continuing to come back to the snake, or was he just being greedy? The snake killed his son, but then his son did do the wrong thing. What do you think? Now, you could try a fun hot seating game. So hot seating is when, you have to play it with more than one person, is when one of you becomes a character from the story. So you could pretend to be the son, and the other person in the game questions that person. So if I was being the son, I'll pretend that somebody is questioning me and saying, why did you kill the snake? I would be, why did I kill the snake? I just really wanted all the gold. I was really greedy and I wanted all the gold. And you could try that. You could try hot seating in character as the man, the father. You could try hot seating as the serpent. You could try hot seating as the son. You might have a different answer. There's no right or wrong answer. So you could try hot seating. That's a fun game to do with lots of stories, not just with this one. You could do it with lots of stories. Particularly fun with lots of traditional tales, I think. It's a good one because we tend to know those really well. But you never know. Somebody like the big bad wolf might not be as big or as bad as you think. So, finish that off with a fun physical game. Play the snake game. Have a go at moving around your environment like a snake. How well can you wiggle and around your environment, around your space? Have fun. Bye for now.